Welcome to the Today in History channel. In today's video we will talk about the day, March 8, 1910, International Women's Day. In 1910, during the celebration of the Second International Women's Conference, led by the Socialist International, in Copenhagen, the establishment of International Women's Day as a method of struggle was unanimously approved in honor of the movement in favor of women's rights and to help achieving universal female suffrage. The proposal, made by German Clara Zetkin, was approved by more than 100 women from 17 countries, although a fixed date for the celebration has not been established. International Women's Day was celebrated for the first time on March 19, 1911 in Germany, Austria, Denmark, and Switzerland, with rallies attended by more than 1 million women and men. In addition to the right to vote and to hold public office, they demanded the right to work, professional training, and non-discrimination at work. Days later, on March 25, more than 140 young workers, mostly Italian and Jewish immigrants, died in the tragic fire at the Triangle factory in New York City. This event caused the United States labor legislation to be modified, and, in the subsequent celebrations of International Women's Day, reference was made to the labor conditions that caused the tragedy. Russian women celebrated their first International Women's Day on the last Sunday of February 1913. In the rest of Europe, they celebrated it with rallies around March 8 of the following year, to protest the war or to show solidarity with others. Women. The First World War took its course when, in 1917, Russian women decided to go on strike in demand for bread and peace on Sunday, February 23, according to the Julian calendar, then used in Russia March 8, according to the Gregorian calendar. Political leaders criticized the strike's opportunity, but 4 days later the Tsar was forced to abdicate, and the provisional government granted women the right to vote. The United Nations joined the defense of women and their rights in 1945, when a letter was signed in San Francisco that constitutes the first international agreement that defends equality between the sexes as a fundamental and indisputable right. Since then, the United Nations has taken countless measures in different fields in order to ensure that the text of that letter is reflected in reality, highlighting the Declaration of 1975 as the International Year of Women, as well as the adoption of numerous legislative, social measures, etc. The growing international women's movement, reinforced by the United Nations through 4 World Conferences on Women, has contributed to making the celebration a focal point for coordinated activities in favor of women's rights and their participation in political and economic life. International Women's Day is increasingly an opportunity to reflect on the progress made, demand changes, and celebrate the acts of courage and decision of ordinary women who have played an extraordinary role in the history of women's rights. Did you like the video? In the description you will find the blog link with the full article. Give an incentive by subscribing to the channel, liking, commenting, and sharing with your friends. Hugs. Until the next.